This linebacker group just through the first few practices of spring?
It's been really good. We were able to keep a lot of the guys from last year's room. We didn't lose anybody, so they were able to pick up right where we left off. And you can see their physical growth over the last 4 months, 5 months. But it's a really fun group. We got 7 guys going right now, and all 7 are live. So it's a fun group to coach.
We talked about some of the younger guys, including Titus Kajabi, of course, a local guy who's really stepped into a bigger role. How have you seen him develop within the program?
Just, it's amazing in college football how your roles change, very quickly. And he is a person that puts a lot into his preparation. And just his maturity and then the ability to get on the field and play, right? That's the best way to get better is playing. So him coming in and playing that back half of last season has really matured him as a player.
How much more comfortable are you this spring as opposed to last year?
100%. Yeah, we were just talking about that. We're a completely different linebacker unit. We're a different defense. And you can just tell the whole roster. Everything just moves a lot smoother. So it's an exciting time.
When you have production like Jaden Pearson had last year, and you find the template of a guy who can step into those roles, are there guys vying for that, or how do you fill that hole?
Yeah, playing everybody, right? I think that's the biggest thing about spring and kind of my mentality is everybody's got to play. And so there's going to be a lot of guys. Obviously, 3 guys got a higher snap count in KT, Titus, and Logan. But the other 4 guys, they want to go too. So everybody, I'm mixing and matching everybody right now, and it's going to be a fun group.
And talking about just the way those linebackers have on the duties that they have on this defense, what are the biggest factors that they play into when it comes to what you want out of them?
Yeah, before the ball snap, they got to communicate. We're the middle of the defense. Right? Everything runs through us. So communication, we tell the guys you got to make sure the trains run on time. And so I think communication is a big piece of it. And then after the ball snap, we got to make the play. Unless the ball's down the sideline, we should be in every play, and I think our group can do that.
Coach, what does the return of health into the lineup of Thunderbird mean for the lineup?
A lot, a lot. He was really coming into his own last year before he got injured, and having him back in the fold and just his maturity and his playmaking ability, it's been really good for the room.
And how's his health been doing?
He's great. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
he's ready to go. He's full go.
What do you expect to be the leaders?
All of them. Yeah, I think obviously KT, Titus, Logan are the guys that have been in the room a little bit. So from a rep standpoint, their leadership is really good. But it's a group that gels well together right now. Even our 2 young guys that came off for red shirt, I think they show a lot of great leadership abilities. So it's a position you have to lead just by playing it. Just because you have to do so much to make the defense run.
What have you learned about yourself as a coach here at your first year at Fresno State?
Focus on the things that are important that help us win games on Saturday. I think the most important thing is it doesn't really matter what I know, it's what the guys on the field know. And so, when you lose somebody and you got to put in a redshirt freshman that was on the scout team D-line like Titus was right before I got here, it's about making sure he's comfortable and he knows what to do. So I really just focus on their learning and their abilities to learn.
Kajabi was used as a pass rusher in high school, and now he's playing more like Michael linebacker.
Yeah.
He's being asked to do a lot more at the college level. How have you helped him catch up to speed with that?
Yeah, I think, first it's just defining what his role is. And I think that's probably the biggest thing with all college football players is when they know what their role is and where they fit in the defense and in the playbook, then they can be comfortable and they can grow. You have to give them space to grow. So he does a great job because he's great pre-snap. He does a lot of our communication, and he can also do all the things we ask him to do as a off-ball linebacker as opposed to a pass rusher like he was at Clovis West.
Was he like a fish out of water that first spring ball last year, or how did he acclimate to the
No,
playbook?
he was.
It's a big playbook.
It is a big playbook. But he fits, and I would say he's not a fish out of water. He just needed a home, and I think he found it.
Since Titus's role was the same as Kavion's, what's the process of maybe getting them on the field together? At
Yeah,
the same time?
definitely. Look at we on the play, on the 2 deep it says Mike and Will, but really it's a universal position. So if you know one, you know them both. That way we can play our 2 best and then our next 2 best and so on and so forth, and that's how they know going in. So we've got about 4 of the guys in the room right now playing both in practice. So we've got to stay multiple, and so that's what we're practicing right now.
Tommy Nix has appeared a lot in the highlights on social media.
Yeah.
Could you share a bit about his journey
Just,
moving to linebacker?
When KT went down last year, we had to add a body, right? And our 2 freshmen were down, so Tommy came down, kind of that strong safety to linebacker. It's a pretty easy move. and he's worked out really hard. He's really changed his body, and he's just kind of blossomed within the defense. He didn't get an install. He just got thrown in the fire last fall. So now getting a chance to have a home, and it again coming back to defining what he's got to do. He's going to be a guy that makes plays, and he'll be on the field.
Anything you can share about Lucas and Nico now that they're both out
Yeah,
there?
their talent is great. Their leadership is great. They're getting a ton of reps, and they're going to be guys that are on the field here in no time.